welcome back to Kirshner FarmStead. If you are new here, my name is Kirsty and this is Tanner. And today we are going to be canning 3 different kinds of onions, okay? So, well, the same type of onions, 3 different ways. Okay, so have you ever had an onion harvest that just wasn't quite up to par? Well, this year was not great for us. It's okay though, because we are not going to waste all of these little pearl onions. We are going to can them. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to cut all of the roots off. Remember, the big bad B word is found in dirt, and so we have to make sure that whatever we are canning is really clean. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut off all of the roots right at the base so that we don't want the layers to fall apart. We just want to cut them right at the base, and then we are going to blanch them for 2 minutes in a pot of water and then put them into an ice bath and get them all peeled. All right, let's get started. Alrighty, so we have, took a bit, but we got all of our roots cut off of the bottom of our onions, and then I gave them a quick wash just under cold water. Now what we are going to do is we are going to blanch them in a boiling pot of water for 2 minutes, and then we are going to put them in an ice bath. Alright, let's get that done. Alright, you guys, so we are going to get the first batch put into our pot. Alright, so let's see how easy these peels come off after blanching them. It's not too bad. Alright, you guys, that was quite a chore to get all of those peeled, but we did. Okay, so our first type of canned onion we are going to do is just going to be a super simple onions in water in the pressure cooker, okay? So we're going to do 5 jars of them, and you are just going to pack your jars with 1 inch of headspace. I am using half pints or jelly jars today. We are doing a cold pack, so you won't be working with anything hot, and the water in your pressure cooker needs to be cold. I actually decided I'm going to be doing 6 of these jars. Alright, so now we are going to be filling them with water up to 1 inch of headspace. These are great to add into soups or stews or roasts or gifting. We are going to wipe our rims off. And we are going to get our lids put on fingertip tight. Remember, in my last canning video, it means you go to where you feel resistance and then a quarter turn more. If you over tighten them, they will buckle, especially in the pressure cooker. Alright, so we are going to put those into our small Presto. We have this is I call it my baby canner. It is our Presto pressure cooker and canner. It is the smallest one that they've made, and I think they only made it for a little bit. I actually found it on Facebook Marketplace for 10 or 15 bucks. It's awesome. It's great for when we just want to do small batches of stuff, but you cannot use this canner over 3,000 foot elevation, so keep that in mind if you're looking for one. Okay, so we are going to, our water's already in there. We're going to get our jars put in. And put our lid on. And get it turned high. Okay, so this is not a canner with a gauge on it, so we will be relying 100% on the weight rocking on top of it. Okay, I have a 15-pound weight because of my elevation, and that is what we will be going off of. Okay, you guys, so we have a steady stream coming out of our pressure cooker now, and we are going to set a 10-minute timer. Okay, so when you're not using a gauge, guys, I know it can be pretty scary, but you just want to make sure that your weight has a nice little rock to it. I was taught that it should look like a hula girl dancing. So you don't want it to be rocking all crazy, and you just want it steady just like that for the entire 40 minutes. Okay, you guys, so our second onion canning recipe that we are going to be starting is onion jam. Okay, we are going to be using whole pearled onions to do this, so you could chop them up if you want to. We are going to take these and we are going to get them caramelized in our large cast iron pan, and then we will jar them up. Okay, so we have, what you are going to need is you are going to need 4 pounds of onions, chopped or pearled. You are going to need a 1.5 cups of white sugar, a 1.5 cups of balsalmic vinegar, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 teaspoons of black pepper. All right, let's get over to the stove. All right, you guys, we are going to put about 4 tablespoons of oil into our pan. And we are going to get our onions added in and get those caramelizing. Okay, you guys, now that we see some color starting to show up on our onions here, I'm going to add in the sugar. The balsamic vinegar, the salt, and the pepper. We are just going to let this cook down and get nice and caramelized. Okay, you guys, so our final type of canned onion is going to be a pickled cocktail onion. Okay, so we are going to have 3 cups of white vinegar, 1/2 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of pickling salt or any non-iodized salt, and 1 tablespoon of pickling spice. We are going to heat this up just until the salt dissolves because we don't want it to be super hot. We are doing what's technically a cold pack with this, okay? So we'll go over to our very full stove right now and get this on there. Okay, guys, so while our brine is heating up, we are going to pack our jars of pickled cocktail onions. You're going to want to leave about a 1-inch headspace. All right, you guys, our brine is ready, and we are going to get the jars filled up. Okay, guys, as always, we are going to wipe our rims before we put our lids on. And we are going to wait to process these. They're going to be water bath canned. We're going to wait to process them with the pearled onion jam because they are both going to process for the same amount of time. Might as well save time doing 2 at once, right? Okay, you guys, our pearled onion jam is ready to get jarred up. I'm not quite sure how many jars this is going to make because I wasn't sure how much it was going to cook down. So I'm doing these in pint-sized jars instead of in jelly jars because we want to use them for putting over pork chops, mainly. I am going to use a little silicone spatula to push them down in there. And then we will top it with the vinegar and sugar mixture. I think it's only going to get 2 jars. Okay, guys, so we want to make sure that the juice is covering the top of these onions. Essentially, this is kind of like a sweet pickled onion. You just take time to caramelize it first. All right, let me clean up. This is not the cleanest thing to can. So you definitely want to make sure that you wipe your mouths of your jars on these ones, because I don't know for everybody else, but I definitely made a mess. All right. So we are going to be putting these into a cold water bath canner and bringing it up to a boil. And then once it reaches a boil, we are going to be timing it for 15 minutes. All right, we'll be back when all this is done, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. Okay, you guys, here is a tip. If you are doing a cold pack with your jars and you're starting with cold water, you can use a towel at the bottom of your pot if you do not have a rack that fits in your pot, okay? It works great as long as you are packing when it's cold. When it's hot and already boiling, it's a little bit harder to do the towel. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that tip. All right, bye. Okay, you guys, so it is actually the next day. We have let our jars completely cool down, and we wound up with 14 jars, 2 of which are pints, and the rest are half pints. And I hope that you guys learned something, and I hope that you can use one of these recipes if you don't end up with the best onion harvest, like what happened to us. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And as always, have a blessed day. Bye!